Porsche 911 GT3 R. Alright, we got a limited time series currently going on right now. So if you don't own the car, it's an opportunity to win it. You just have to meet the PR requirement, which is 83.1. And that is going to cost you some gold to get your PR up there if you don't have any upgrades yet. And yeah, and the car's featured in the 2020 season of GT3. That is a category you will find under Motorsports section. And this is also the car that is in the GT3 Exhibition series. But that series, you don't necessarily have to own the car. You are given a loaner, and this is the one that you get to race. And let's see, pretty short series, the exhibition. I'll have the link to the playthrough of that series in the description box below, so you guys can check that out if you're interested. It's a short 6-tier 18 race series. No gold rewards. In fact, there's no gold rewards for the 2020 season of this GT3 series either. There's just Motorsports rewards. Where there is gold reward is obviously this limited time series championship, where there's 40 gold, as you can see here, and the exclusive series where there's some 50 gold that you can win. But obviously, in order to unlock the exclusive series, you will have to fully upgrade this car, which means it will cost you a bit of gold. 320 gold to be exact, if you want to go all out. Now, in order to win this car through this limited time series, you don't have to go that crazy. However, you do need to put some gold on this car. So here, let's check in and find out what we've got. So Porsche 911 GT3 R Championship, earn a 2019 Porsche 911 GT3 R by 100% completing this special limited time series based on the outstanding 911 GT3 RS, the lightweight construction and increased horsepower of the 911 GT3 R push the series to new levels. Now, the GT3 series in Motorsports section, the 2020 season, does feature two other cars alongside this Porsche: McLaren 720S GT3. That's one of the more slippery one, and the Bentley Continental GT3, which we've had the championship, the limited time series earlier on in the current version 9.5, right? So in terms of the currency rewards, we had a little less payout from the Bentley one in terms of gold, but we did get extra 100,000 motorsport dollars more in that one. This one we get a little bit more gold, so that's 10 more gold, so that's not for nothing, right? And in terms of PR requirement, it's they say it's 83.1. And I have actually completed this series on my other account, so I can confirm that it is 83.1. And here's the breakdown of the rewards, the currency rewards. Of course, if you don't own the car, upon 100% completing this series, you will win the car, which is, how much is it worth? It's 1.3 million motorsport dollars. So, if you miss out on it, it's not the end of the world. Motorsport dollars, you just have to farm it. No special trick to it, right? Yeah, so because of that reason, as I said earlier, the exclusive, the season, 2020 season, the Motorsports series and the exhibition series only pays out motorsport dollars, right? And but if you want to win this car by 100% completing this series, and which means you need to bring your PR up to 83.1, Yeah, I believe the cheapest way to get there is getting 6 upgrades across the board. Now, this car, because it's a motorsports car, there are only 4 categories. Well, actually, there are different motorsports cars that have more upgrades, or some have tuning setups and whatnot. Well, this one is 4 categories, and 26 upgrades available total, right? And each category, except for the very last tier upgrade, the rest of it is all motorsport dollars. So there are 5 motorsport dollar upgrades available on drivetrain before you have to spend any gold. Same for suspension, and there are 6 motorsport dollar upgrades available on body and brakes before you have to spend any gold. So these are relatively light on gold in terms of upgrades, considering that the total maxing out will cost you, 320 gold, which isn't too bad. And the exclusive series will pay you 50 of that gold back, along with 150,000 motorsport dollars upon 100% completing that. And of course, if you max it out, it'll make it a little bit easier to run through this limited time series, as well as you would not need to, well, I think upon completing an event, they give you 24 hours of instant service and instant R&D on the upgrades for this car. So how that plays relevance is when you start the event, if you don't have any upgrades, or if you got motorsport dollar upgrades that you still need to get on this car, then don't get it right away. Wait till you complete the first event, right? Because that's when you unlock the instant R&D. Right, so that's that. Motorsport dollar upgrades, you are gonna have to get all of them, because you need 6 upgrades across the board to meet the PR requirement here. So that means for the 2 categories, drivetrain and suspension, you will need to get the gold upgrades. So first of all, getting all the motorsport dollar upgrades, it'll cost you 2,140,340 motorsport dollars. And in order to afford those gold upgrades, drivetrain, the last one, the tier 6, is gonna cost you 85 gold, and the suspension is gonna cost you 75 gold. So combined, it costs you 160 gold. And yeah, those are the cheaper way to go. The final gold upgrade on body costs you 90 gold, so obviously it's more pricier. So unless you're planning on fully upgrading, there's really, it's hard to justify going with that route. And the final brakes upgrade is 70 gold, but brakes don't give you usually as high of a PR boost, so that doesn't help you in this case, because it lands you right on 83.1, if I remember correctly, going 6 upgrades across the board. This car originally was, by the way, a race day event car, which means we had to meet the PR requirement, but it wasn't like 15 tiers of grinding. It was just a quick 5-stage special event format. So, and the PR requirement, I believe, was like 80, which meant we were able to win this car without spending any gold. So, that's typically how these events go, right? If you win it the first instance they offer it, usually you get the better deal, unless it happens while they're running one of these rerun events. If they're offering some sort of a upgrade discount, then if it's 30% discount, then there's a good chance that the discount is gonna be worth more than the rewards that you get. So but that's not here. So let's just use gold here real quick to complete the series, so we can do a quick overview of this series before I get started on this event. So we'll collect all the necessary rewards here, and let's confirm PR requirement 83.1 as I said, and then as you just saw, the full day 1 day of instant R&D on upgrades if you need them. Since mine is fully upgraded, I don't get that offer, I just get the instant service offer. Alright, so just quickly to run through, I'll have all this information in the description box below, but by the way, with the PR 83.1, you will be able to 100% complete the 2020 season of GT3. The car is featured in because that series, the season requires PR 82.7, and because it's a motorsports category, you only need one car, so you can just complete it with just a single car, which is nice. Anywho, yeah, so usual 15 tier 45 event limited time series we got here. Tier 4 PR requirement is 71.5, so that's what you're gonna need to claim that 25% completion reward of 4 gold and 15,000 motorsport dollars. And then tier 8 is your 50% completion tier, but you only need 2 gold trophies here, so you don't need to do the cup if you don't want to go any further, which means tier 7 PR requirement is what you're gonna need to meet, which is 74.8, and that'll win you 8 gold and 30,000 motorsport dollars. And then kind of similar, tier 12 is 75% completion tier, but you only need a single gold trophy here, which means tier 11 is the last one that you need to complete to claim that reward. So PR requirement for 75% completion is 78.8, which will pay you additional 12 gold and 45,000 motorsport dollars. And of course 100% completion will require 83.1, the PR, and it'll pay you the remaining 16 gold and 60,000 motorsport dollars. Right. So the event itself, tier 1, we got head-to-head at Red Bull Ring Grand Prix, single lap, and we got a drag race. Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix, it's a drag race, so I don't think the venue makes all that big of a difference. Not enough to have a significant impact. And then Cup for Tier 1 takes place at Dubai International. It's gonna be 2-lap Cup, no PR requirement because it's a first tier. Moving on to Tier 2, we got Autocross at Laguna Seca. We got Hunter at Catalunya Grand Prix, so that's a full lap. And the cup for Tier 2 is going to be a Porsche Test Track long on-road circuit. 2 laps, PR 68.6 is required. And Tier 3, we got Endurance at Mount Panorama, followed by Speed Snap at Red Bull Ring National. And the cup for Tier 3 is going to be a Monza Junior course. Quick 4 laps with a PR requirement of 70.2. Continuing on Tier 4, we got Autocross at Daytona Motorcycle Course. And drag race, another drag race, this one at Suzuka Grand Prix. Man, we've only through 4 tiers and we already have 2 drag races. That's not looking very promising if you ask me. And then Tier 4, as we checked in earlier, the cup is going to be at Hockenheim National, 3-lapper, and PR requirement 71.5 for that 25% completion. Tier 5, we got elimination at the Texas Austin Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix. So you gotta survive for what, 2 minutes 20 seconds, right? That's an elimination. And then we got a Speed Snap, Dubai International. Another Dubai International. They like that circuit. And the cup is going to be a Nürburgring Grand Prix. 2 laps, PR 72.6 is what's required. Continuing on, Tier 6, we got Autocross at Bugatti Circuit, Hunter at Porsche Test Track Short On-Road Circuit, and the cup is going to be at Suzuka West. 3-lapper, PR 73.7 is what's required. Continuing on, Tier 7, we got Endurance at Hockenheim Short. So it's an endurance, so your mileage may vary depending on your margin of victory. So if you don't want to run long distance, keep your margin of victory to the minimum. All right, and then we got Speed Snap at Laguna Seca, and the cup for Tier 7, Bathurst Mount Panorama. 2 laps, PR 74.8 is what's required. That gets us to the Tier 8, your 50% completion tier. We got Autocross at the Brickyard Road Course. Head-to-head as Silverstone International Single Lapper. And the cup here is going to be at Melbourne. 4 laps, PR 75.8 is required. Tier 9, another drag race. It's a third one. This one takes place at Monza Road Course. Not that it really matters, if you ask me. And we got an endurance at Le Mans 24-hour circuit. Night race. And the cup for Tier 9 is going to be at Laguna Seca. 4 laps, PR 76.8 is required. Continuing on, Tier 10, we got Speed Snap at Catalunya National, Autocross at Circuit of the Americas National, and the cup at Daytona Road Course. 3 laps, PR 77.8 required. All right, Tier 11, we got Elimination at Monza Junior, Hunter at Dubai International, and the cup at Spa. And it's going to be a 3-lap cup with a PR 78.8 required for that one. And that gets us to Tier 12, your 75% completion tier. Another endurance, this one at the Porsche Test Track, Leipzig Circuit, long on-road circuit. And then we got a Speed Snap at the Brickyard Road Course. And the cup is going to be at Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix. 3 laps, PR 79.8 is required. And moving on to Tier 13, the final leg of this series, right? Once you reach about this far, I always feel like I've made it. Anyway, yeah, speed record at Red Bull Ring National. So that's a full lap. We got a Hunter at Hockenheim Grand Prix. That's also a full lap, a bit longer. And then cup is going to be at Bugatti Circuit, 4 laps with a PR 80.8 required. Right, so that's all doable with Motorsport dollar upgrades alone, by the way. So, 75% completion is done without spending any gold. If you want to save gold, that is. All right, and then Tier 14. We got Elimination at Silverstone Bridge Grand Prix, Speed Snap at Melbourne, and the cup at Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course. 4 laps with a PR 81.9 required. So that's when you need the gold. All right, that gets us to the final tier, Tier 15. We got head-to-head at Nürburgring Grand Prix, a single lapper course. And we got an endurance at Spa. And the final cup is, of course, at Catalunya Grand Prix, 4 laps with the PR 83.1 required. So there you have it. So there's a series overview for limited time series featuring Porsche 911 GT3 R. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.